Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here, back with more Let's Play Shining Force 3 Scenario 3, and we might kill Bolzom. We might be able to do 154 points of damage in a hit if we get, like, a really high-end special attack. Like if we get, the new, Force Blade, which we don't. Oh, we do! We get Force Edge! We might kill him with this. We did 166! 49 XP, and still not enough to level up. But that's it! That's the end! Oh, that was brilliant. That was... And Julian gets the final hit, too. That's a little poetic. Have we defeated Bolzom? Bolzom's vitality is gone. He can neither fight nor live. I've been defeated by the Julian army? I amassed an army for 1,000 years, yet it has been completely defeated. I'm not the one who wanted this battle. I only did this to protect my people. You don't know? How ridiculous to believe that losing vitality would mean the end of a life for a Vandal. My descendants, the inferior Vandals, face the threat of death just like humans, but there is no such limit for a true Vandal. The loss of vitality doesn't mean the end of a Vandal? Think about it, Innovator. Why didn't your ancestor destroy me when he defeated me 1,000 years ago? I've never really thought about it. Because the only way he could contain me was to seal me in a wall of light. Bolzom's power is returning, even with this weak body of his. What's going on? I'm absorbing dark energy, the source of life for Vandals. With so much within reach, you can expect another battle soon. Racia, Julian, what should we do? If we let him keep going, Bolzom will... What he just said, let's seal him in the wall of light. With the stones of light... The stones made by the Creator, you could seal me just like 1,000 years before. If you have the stones, that is. What are stones of light? You don't know the stones of light? Then I don't suppose you possess them. So I'm fine. Alright, so those stones that we've seen throughout the game. Lookover Tower and Oral Village, which emit the force of light. Correct, because of them I am unable to leave this temple. Back then, they collected vast amounts of stones of light to seal me. There wouldn't be many of them left in this world. Yeah, what happened to the stones that were used for sealing? During the last 1,000 years, I and my followers nullified them with the power of darkness. Those gems scattered on the ground, those are the remains of the nullified stones of light. You were bright. No stones of light remain that are powerful enough to seal me. Then, why did my ancestor want me to carry out the legendary expedition, to put an end to this war? If the answer is nowhere to be found, what is the purpose of this battle? The Staff of Basim. What the? We forgot one important thing. Wasn't that what Galm said before? The Staff of Basim and Gracia. Galm told you that? Why are you so meddlesome, Galm? Is that so? I see. The Staff of Basim. I can use the Staff of Basim to seal away Bolzom. Innovator, I don't think you understand. If you touch me with the Staff of Basim, I may be vanquished, but so will you. Everything comes with a price. There's no other choice, is there? Even so, that was not the path of the path your ancestor chose. I believe in my ancestor. He sealed you away. He sealed you to buy time to find another way to eliminate you. Then you can do the same. He's like, don't kill me! Please don't kill me! My ancestor must have understood that sealing Bolzom wouldn't be enough to end the war. Aren't you afraid? You... Of course I'm afraid, but I believe in my ancestors and I intend to follow their will. Like, I'm gonna end you. Like, O Vandal, foe of this world, vanish with me under the staff. And a scream that rivals Lavos. Oh, that was a thing. It seems like we did it. It seems like we, in a blinding flash, have defeated Bolzom. What a silence. That probably means the battle is over. So it took them long enough to get up the mountain with the path closed, but they finally did it. I thought no one was here, but turns out everyone is here. Is everyone all right? Let's go check on everyone. Isabella, please wake up. Big brother. Are you all right? Oh, Lord Symbios, why am I... Oh, she's blushing. She finally got to meet Symbios. And I love how Symbios goes to her rather than checking on, you know, his king. Surprised to see us, Julian? Median Symbios, you were concerned about us. Wasn't that why you came? Really? You gotta piece that one together? As we finished our battles, we rushed to the wall. The stairs to the temple were still active. Oh, so they made it just in time. Now, why didn't they show up to help? It would have been awesome to have fought Bolzom with all three armies. That would have been just badass. Oh, Gracia. Benetrim, what happened to Gracia? Bolzom didn't lose his life even after he lost all vitality. Gracia triggered an explosion between the Force of Light and the Force of Darkness. He was very aware of the risk. There's nothing left of Bolzom, just a shadow. That's dark. Especially for a Japanese RPG, because, you know, the only country that has had a nuclear weapon actually used against them, you have the shadows still etched into places from people close enough to the blast. That's a rather dark thing to make a simile of. Bolzom couldn't survive the explosion caused by the collision of the forces of light and dark power. The Vandal no longer exists. That collision of light and dark must have been unimaginable. Well, Gracie seems to still be alive. Bolzom? He's dead, Gracia. What happened to Bolzom? Bolzom is gone. The forces of light have triumphed. I can't get up. It seems I'm injured worse than I thought. Don't move. Don't strain yourself. I'm sure I'll be back to normal after receiving a blessing from the staff. That's strange. The staff. I'll try again. It seems to be out of power as well. It's no use. I can't draw power from the staff, nor my own. Could this mean... Is this the risk Bolzom mentioned about the collision of light and dark force? I see. That must be it. My hypothesis is right. Gracia has lost his powers. Are you saying the innovator powers in Gracia are lost? Why is that, King Benetrim? How did he lose his innovator powers? The Vandal and the Innovator represent extremes of light and dark power, right? They are also beings that continue to exist even when losing their vitality. Neutralization seems to be the only way to eliminate their existence. In order to eliminate the powerful dark force and opposing power, the Force of Light is needed to neutralize it. Thus, both forces would lose their attributes. The light force of an Innovator is used to neutralize the dark force of a Vandal. What will happen to Gracia? After the powers collided, Gracia's powers of light were neutralized. I guess that means he became an ordinary boy. An ordinary boy who saved the world from darkness. That's cruel. He had such great power, and now he has nothing? Changing from a mighty being to an ordinary being is going to be very hard for him. My powers are gone. I've become an ordinary boy. Julian. And it's Jane! She survived as well. Is Lord Bolzom gone? That's Lord Bolzone. That's all that's left of him. He was fearsome, but for some reason he was very kind to me. Everyone is gone. There is nothing left. What should I do now? Julian, can you answer me that? What do I have to live for now? Oh, because that's... The Bolzone sect was her family. Like, literally, in Deshran's case. So... And we have members of the Force who are still hanging out. We've got Khan and Grace and Mascarin. We've got Zero and Eldar. Finally, it's time for us to leave and go back to our own countries. So many things have happened since the peace conference in Saravan. It feels like forever since I restarted this project. It does feel like so long. Not only did we fight many battles, we also met many people, and now we must part with them forever. Why does it have to be forever? You can visit each other. It's not like you're not near enough each other. Zero, when you leave the Median armies, what's your plan for the future? I don't know, but after the Median army forced our way through the Emperor's opposition to join the legendary expedition, I don't think we will be going back to the Empire anytime soon. That's right, since the Median army will be staying in Nesphenia for a while, you have time to think about it. Julian has decided to remain here. Jane doesn't want to go south. North of Bolzone Temple, there's a place called Sorrow. She decided to go to a Bolzone sect village there. Jane is all alone and Julian can't leave her like that, so he's decided to go with her. His rare battle ability and charisma are going to be buried in the snow of the northern continent from now on. You guys sure know how to live it up. Since everyone is taking the ship to Barisal, the flagship is overloaded. Some of us are working hard to prepare the ship for the journey. I'm sorry, Synthesis, we went out for some fresh air and I guess we got carried away. Forgive us for keeping you waiting, Synthesis, and the others can take a break now. Let's leave the rest of the work to us. Oh, Princess Isabella, I wasn't speaking that way to the princess. Damn, I should have kept my mouth. I was like, damn it! Oh. And there's Uryudo! After enduring such a cruel war, you'd think she would have grown up a bit, but Synthesis is still Synthesis. The ship is well prepared. And David as well! We have fine weather to travel by ship today. We should reach Elbasim with no problems. But what awaits us in the Holy Land of Elbasim? The reconstruction of the Elbasim faith. David, I will support Gracia no matter what. Your help will be needed. Is it true that Gracia can't get his power back? There must be a secret. This must be kept secret from the Emperor. There are too many problems waiting for us to solve. Maybe we should stay here like Julian. Yeah, just run away from your problems. That's the way to deal with it. You shouldn't imply his motivation is avoiding problems. He chose to stay here to seek new meaning for his life. After battling Bolzone, he knows how difficult it is to vanquish a true Vandal. Vandals can't be killed by physical damage. Now that he understands this, he realizes his goal of taking revenge against Galm is impossible. I don't understand Galm. Why did he help us defeat Bolzone? He's certainly a mysterious being. Now that you mention it, maybe his goal was to vanquish the Vandal's natural enemy, the Innovator, from this world. What are you talking about, David? Do you have any evidence to prove this? Are you ready to set sail? And there's Bridget. Julie and the others are bidding farewell to the Keeper. We will depart soon, so everyone get ready. And back inside we get to talk to the Keeper, who helped us out by promoting everyone. And we still see the leaders of the three armies there. It's time for us to leave. Thanks for your help, Keeper. So you are leaving. It will be quite lonely here without you. Being interested in archaeology, it's difficult for me to leave Remotest, but I'll be sure to return soon. Bolzum's presence in Remotest has been destroyed, Keeper. Your task is very important and will be difficult. Next time you can visit us, and we'll show you the southern region. You're welcome anytime. Thank you very much. We would be delighted to visit you. Julian, are you sure you're not having second thoughts about going to Sorrow? It wouldn't be bad in early winter, but heading north to Sorrow in the middle of such a harsh winter, I certainly wouldn't recommend that. Lord Symbios, I think I understand how Julian feels. Living on the battlefield all these years, Julian probably felt lonely all the time. Jane is special to him. Julian lost his father as a child. This may be the first time he has experienced love. It's good he wants to nurture this relationship. I love how everyone's talking about Julian like he's not here in the room. Even if our paths part for now, we will meet again, won't we? Yes. Good. Since you've promised to return to us, I won't try to stop you. You have been traveling your entire life. Your closest friend is loneliness itself, isn't it? But Julian, it's different now. During this battle, you have earned friends that understand you. True friends are not just people that tend to each other's wounds, but people you can stake your life on in battle. That's what Conrad always said. You have friends such as these. Don't forget that. You are always welcome to return to us. Yes, let's not stick around any longer. We will return to the southern region. And everyone except for Julian and Jane. And the Keeper, but the Keeper's staying here. But farewell, Legendary Expedition. Farewell, Shining Force. Julian, I will never forget you. You are a brave warrior. And everyone's walking away. Now it's time for Julian to head back. They've left, Julian. You may proceed to Sorrow any time. Proceed after your preparations for the journey are complete. So now I get to control. I guess I can save. I guess I probably should save. If that's an option, I should probably save it and be like, yes, just in case. I see, Jane and the Mercenary. Now seems as if Jane, who has been so unhappy, will finally find happiness. Oh, so I can just talk to people? Since this is already going to be a slightly longer episode, let's go ahead and look around and see if we can go out and talk to everyone again. The door... Nope, I can't. So maybe... I don't think I can go into the head... I don't think anyone would be in headquarters either, so... I could go and talk to Jane, I guess. Maybe I could talk to people left in the Julian Battalion? Nope, everyone's gone. So, let's go talk to Jane, see if there's any last dialogue that we get to deal with. It seems a little weird, like we can't save it here. Like obviously the priest has set dialogue. Let's go up and talk to Jane. Julian, you really stayed. I thought you were only trying to comfort me when you said you'd go to Sorrow with me. The journey will be hard. Are you ready to go? Yes. I see. Your preparations are complete. Are you ready for your journey with Jane? Sorrow is north of the mountain range. It is where the Bolzum sect trains monks. Their environment is really tough up there. But perhaps I should not worry. After receiving Bolzum's teachings, most of those who have developed their powers came to Bolzum Temple. There should not be anyone there that would pose a threat to you. Jane has lost everyone close to her. To heal her heart, it will be good for her to take a trip to where her mother rests. This is where I'll see you off. I'll pray your trip is a smooth one. Thank you, Keeper. Elbasum speed, Julian. I'll be waiting for you with all my heart for the day Jane's heart is healed and you return to the city. Forgive me, Julian. After this journey with you, I'm sure I'll be reborn. And the final fanfare leading into the credits. Like I'm 99% sure this is the credits music. Like that's what. Yep, credits. Shining Force 3. There is a scene at the end that we get where we get to watch all of the opening cinematics again. So that's and the Scenario 1 opening cinematic just is very special to me because it's the one I saw. I will never forget turning on the game and seeing that cinematic and thinking this is going to be epic. This is going to be a great story. It's going to be and it was. It really is. And I am so indebted to the translation team and the project overall. It's because of them that I'm able to play this in English. Like, it's because of them I've been able to enjoy the story, and, like, they didn't stop with just, making it playable. They've been refining this over and over again, getting, everything as smooth and ironed out and the best translation possible and the best presentation of that translation possible. Thanks to them, I was able to play this before, and I was able to Let's Play this and finally experience the story by playing it, which is worlds different than reading the scripts available online. And video games are they're an interactive medium. Seeing the story is very different than playing the game yourself and experiencing the story. Like, seeing some of these epic battles play out is one thing, but being the strategist behind those epic battles and seeing, like, you may see the outcome of the fight of, something like Conrad dying. Reading that is one thing, but seeing the whole scene play out in front of you as you're playing it is something so different, and it's so much more. There's so much more immersion in playing a game rather than watching a game, which is why I'm so surprised that Let's Plays are such a thing. Because playing the games and watching them are totally different. I know part of Let's Play is the commentator, and seeing their personality shine through in the game, but, like, this, being able to play this, thanks to the translation team, it is such a different experience than just, reading over the scripts, and I really cannot thank them enough. And the fact that they've included me in Shining Force, in the lore of the whole translation project now, the fact that they were willing to put the MarauderEX edition for Scenario 2, and they gave me that patch, that really did make me tear up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Shining Force is a part of who I am. Like, Shining Force 2 was one of the biggest games to get me into gaming as a whole. It got me into strategy. It got me into character development. It showed me to see the game as the story rather than just running through levels or stomping with mushrooms or things like that. And Shining Force 3 hit me at a time where I was looking at games very critically. I was old enough to look at games as more of an art form and more design-oriented. And so the Shining series in general has had a huge impact on how I view games as a whole. And to be able to play the parts of Shining Force 3 that were not released officially in English, thanks to the efforts of these really talented people, blows me away. But then for them to be like, hey, we wanted to do something special for you as well, just... words can't describe that. Words really can't. To anyone who has the ability to play this game, either via a modded Saturn, or maybe if Pseudo Saturn works, or if you have an emulator that's capable of running this without too many issues, I strongly recommend trying this game for yourself. Like I said, playing a game and watching a game are two totally different things. I'm really glad the viewers who've watched this project from beginning to end, and commented and liked, and all of that, and the people who found the translation project through this, really go try this yourself. Play the game in English yourself, or I know they're working on translations for other languages as well. If English is not your primary language, they're working on things like that to do French and German and things like that to make the game playable to everyone around the world. I know that's something they're working on, and I am floored by their efforts. And just, again, if it weren't for them, this Let's Play would not be possible. I don't read Japanese. I don't understand Japanese. So I'd never been able to play this beforehand. I know the games existed, and I knew there were ways to import Saturn games and play them, but playing in a language you don't understand, you're not getting the story. You're playing the game, but you don't experience it the same way. And watching someone play it is one thing. And one of the things that I started doing this channel for was, so people could at least somewhat experience these games, because the Saturn was not a massively popular system in the US, and a lot of its games were really overlooked by people at the time, and only in recent years have started expanding with the whole retro game collecting and retro game fascination. But the games are hard to find, and they're expensive, and so it really makes it hard for the average person to really be able to get into this. So that's how I started my channel, but now it's gotten a little better. Now, they're again, emulation has gotten better. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, because the Saturn was a awkward system, but there are more ways to experience this now, and I really recommend everyone who has the ability to do it. It blows me away. So, and like I said, I'm going to treasure the MarauderEX edition of Shining Force 3 for as long as I live. Like, it's going to sit on my shelf, and it is going to be something I look at with a great deal of pride. And then every so often, I'm just going to pull it out, and I'm going to start playing again, just to experience this game again, and learn something new, because I will learn, like, this is the second time doing a full Let's Play of it, doing a full playthrough of all 3 scenarios, and I'm still learning new things. And my viewers are still learning new things, because each time it shows up, new people see it and say, oh, well, no, this is something that works in this fashion, and try this or that, or this is a unique thing you can do in this fight that changes. It's so... It blows my mind. It really does. Everything about this just blows my mind, because you'll learn something new each time you play it. And people play strategy games like this very differently. There are people who question my party choices, there are people who question my equipment choices, and I've gotten into discussions with people about, you know, there are so many different ways to play this that I don't think there's a wrong way to play this, as long as you are making progress. So, it's, yeah. It really does mean a lot to be able to play this game in English and to be a part of Shining Force lore. It really does. I'm rambling now because so many trains of thought for the credits have really just kind of got me so disjointed and jumbled. Again, thank you to the translation project, all of your collective hard work for this. Thank you to the viewers and fans, people who've enjoyed this Let's Play. I'm glad you've stuck through it. We are coming to the end of the credits now because we see two sets of footprints in the snow heading north. That would be Julian and Jane heading north to Sorrow. And I love that Julian is in his promoted form, but not in his Apostle of Light armor. His Apostle of Light armor looked like Arthur unpromoted with, you know, a lot of brown and, you know, that is his promoted form. And so I'm wondering what significance that may show. Like maybe they lost their Apostle of Light powers. But in the skies above them, they see the Holy Ark. The ship from Shining the Holy Ark that carries the Holy Ark that absorbs dark power to keep the balance of light and darkness in check. So maybe there's something more at Sorrow. Maybe that's where the ship can land. Maybe that's where the ship comes from. Who knows? There was a lot left to this story that will probably never be revealed. But then at the end of the credits, we're also going to have Master Gabriel. Welcome back, Julian. Please save a record of your adventure. I am going to overwrite, but I'm not going to overwrite the last one. I'm going to overwrite that one, so that I have one at the very end of the game, so that if I want to do anything else in the game, and then I have one that's completed, so that I can use that for premium disc or starting another thing. I'm glad you're back, Julian, but Master Gabriel has already... he's fallen asleep. Huh? What? What's this? Oh, Faye! You mischievous. One of these days I'm going to... Oh, if it isn't Julian! You finally returned triumphant. Thank Elbasim. The world has been saved from evil. Oh, the fate of Jane and the others? Don't worry. Rest assured, everyone turned out fine due to your efforts. Ah, about the Holy Ark. That... well, there will be another opportunity. You see, Master Gabriel couldn't ignore the world's crisis. He spent much time traversing the world for a solution. I used to think he was just a sleepy old man, but I've really come to see him in a new light. Even so, Master Gabriel is exhausted from all the unpredictable events. There are also lots of things he needed help with, so I'm tired as well. Hey, Master Gabriel. Ah, he's sleeping, isn't he? Even though Julian has returned. Master Gabriel? Is it okay if I let him sleep? Really? Okay, then I'll give your respects to Master Gabriel when he wakes up. I'm so very exhausted. So sorry, Julian, but I... sleep. So the two of them fall asleep. But it's Jane sleeping next to Master Gabriel, not Primula, like we thought it was. I'm so very confused by it. But that is the end. We do have... oh, do we not get the special scene at the end? I guess I don't. Oh, I pressed start. So I'll edit in the special scene, because yeah, that's it raises some questions. I forgot I had to leave it on the start screen. So I'll do that, and yeah, that'll be the end. So I'll go ahead and end it here, and I will see you all in the next project, which I think the next Shining Force project is going to be the premium disc. So we'll finish up with that, and then we'll move on to something else. So till then, later, everyone.
やるものね、ガルム。
何がだ？
とぼけないで。目障りなブルザムを消すため、エンリッチの少年を運命のレールに乗せ、遠征軍に援助までしたわね。
そうだとしたらどうだというのだ？
あなたこそ最強最悪のヒュードルの中のヒュードルだわ。